Welcome everybody back to Boost Motion, guys, and today I want to talk about it. Now, the Q50's been out since 2014, right? And ever since 2016, people with lowered Q50s have been having axle issues. Now, as much as you guys don't think it's common enough, because you guys lower your car on lowering springs or coilovers, including myself, I had two Q50s. There's still a group of you guys who are having this axle issue. So I want to make this updated video on the different options that you guys can go with axle options, not because of power, but because the axle is just honestly just too short. So guys, let's jump into the video. First thing, shout out to my Boost Motion family. I know you guys have already hit the like button. Thank you guys for your support. And if you're new to the Boost Motion channel, well, I'm Boost Motion. I used to have a Q50. I had two of them shits, and a lot of you guys dealt with this freaking issue, and I dealt with it. You could check some of my old videos back in the day when I actually took my car out to the racetrack and my axle popped right out the diff. Yes. And my car wasn't even slammed. So I definitely dealt with that issue, and I mitigated it by going with a longer axle. Now, for the naysayers, Boost, does this even work? Is it safe? I did it 3 to 4 years ago. I did it. I looked at the two. I literally got two axles in my hand from different Nissan Infiniti vehicles, right? And I compared the spleen, the measurements, compressed length, things I'm going to show you guys in this video, and I took a chance, and I actually ordered M56 axles, and it solved my issue. All right, so let's quickly start with the 2016 Infiniti Q50. Now, I'm on the Track Motive site because it also gives you, it's an axle website. They sell axles, but also they give you all information on certain measurements and stuff like that. I did this stuff years ago, so just trust my word here because I did it, right? Now, I only had issues with my passenger front axle. I don't know if this applies for the driver's side of axle or the rear axles. I did not look into that, and most people usually don't have that issue unless they slam their car in the rear and they try to slide their car. That's a totally different thing. That's 350Z type of problems, right? Now, I go to the front right CV axle, and this is NI8640. Let's click on that. This is for 2016. They also have a 2.0T here, but we don't really care about those guys. Now, when you click on it, they're going to give you different information, right? Axle nut. Let me see if I may want to make sure you guys can see this, right? Let me click on that back. It gives you axle nut size, threading, M24, male. It gives you the amount of inboard spleens. I looked into all this information back in the day, and I took a shot, right? Overall, this is the most part that's the most important to you guys. So it says the overall compressed length is in inches is 23.5, right? Overall compressed length is 55 millimeters, 597. This is when you take the axle and squeeze it all the way together because there is a plunger that goes in and outside the axle. The axle is supposed to still move back and forth with the shaft and the plunger, right? So it's saying 57. Now, how did I get to M56 axles or Q70 axles? So I've been looked up everything once again, guys, and I looked into shaft play. I looked into all this because most of this stuff is interchangeable. They just make the shafts longer. Yeah, tell me about it. That's what she said. So front right. Now I went to the V8 5.6 liter. Right. This is NI 8521. Clicked on that. Go to attributes. The same thing. Attributes are exactly the same. Let me just make sure I click back on it so I wouldn't show you guys what I was talking about. Attributes. Attributes are literally the same. They're both 38, 24, 1.5. I'm going between the two, right? Now, let's go back down to compressed, right? Compressed. Where is the compressed part? Give me a second, guys. I'm not reading it right. Okay, cool. Overall compression length, 23.5, right? Let's go to this one. This one is 24.33 and 618 for millimeters. See the difference between the two, right? See the difference between the two? So, sorry, guys. So actually, look, that's the difference between the two. It gets about almost, what is that, a full inch? About a 3/4 of an inch longer. Now, you are going to see some differences down here where it talks about axle nut height, stuff like this. But honestly, that doesn't change up pretty much anything. Like, it's still exactly the same. Literally, it's still exactly the same. You don't have to worry about nothing because that's mainly talking about the axle that they use on the outside, which connects to the shoot, I would say where the axle goes into. I forgot the name of it. God damn it, I haven't worked on cars in so long, so don't beat me up on video, right? So 23. Now I want to show you guys another car. Another car is the 2014 Infiniti Q50. Let's go to front right. Let's go to 3.7, not 3.5. Same thing here. Let's go to the attributes. Boom. Attributes here are about the same again, but this one is 23.6. So if you look, guys, look at it, right? The 3.7's axles are actually a little bit longer than the 3.7 than the 3.0 T. For whatever reason, I don't know what's going on with the differential. I don't know why some of you guys are running into these issues, and you guys are not even slammed. The axles are just too short for you. I don't know what it is. I don't know where this problem is coming from, but I've had a lot of you guys had this issue, and you guys came to me, and I helped solve these issues for you, and I'm glad I definitely did. So, this is your options. You can go with an M56 axle, right? M56. Now there should also be a 3.7 here too. Let me switch to 3.7. I'm doing this all on video for you guys. We're going to go to M37, right? And they have a front right. That's 8532. Now 8532. Once again, everything is still exactly the same. Measurements are the same. Literally, these things are interchangeable. They just make the shaft longer. This one is overall 24.2. So this one isn't as much longer than the regular one. So when you get M37 axles, it's only about a half an inch longer. If you get the M56 axles, it's actually 3/4 of an inch longer too. So I would recommend M56X or Q70 5.6 axles because they're 3/4 of an inch longer. So that gives you more play. Then it'll have less likely for that plunger coming out, especially on hard turns. Now, I did also add an additional spacer, which actually did help and mitigate a lot of those issues. I just wanted to make sure I run into any issues, but a lot of you guys actually just went with the axle itself, M56, and it solved a lot of your problems. Now, I do want to throw this also on video. I also said this years ago. I was also looking into other Infiniti vehicles that may also give you longer axles. So I'm going to do it quickly on the video to see if I was actually quite right. I remember looking into the QX70 to see if they were longer. It was either the QX70 or the QX60. So this is also a 2014 QX70. This is with the 3.7, right? And this was a front right axle. And they made a V8 5-liter one, and they made a 3.7 one from what I can see here. So let's take a quick look on video just to see. The architecture, from what I remember, is also pretty much almost, once again, the same. So let's put that here. So we're going to compare the 2016 Q50 versus the 2014 or 2015 QX70 axle length. So this one is extremely long. The overall compression length is actually 25.67. That's almost 2 inches. That's a little over 2 inches longer. So that might be actually too long. The reason why you don't want to go with an axle that is this long, if it's 2 inches longer, is, remember, it's a plunger. So when you turn, sometimes the axle will actually pull out a little bit out the plunger back and forth. Or when you go, or depending on when you hit bumps or it comes back up, the plunger may go in and it actually might be hitting the back of where it bolts into the differential. That's why you can't go with axles too long. So 2 inches might be too long, unless you're going to be driving around with an all-wheel drive slammed all the time. Then that may help, but that may be too long. 3/4 of an inch is probably much better, but 2 inches might be way too long as an option. So I wouldn't recommend the 3.7 version of the QX70 because it's 2 inches and like a tenth too long. Now, they do have the 5-liter, so let's take a quick look and see what this one comes up as. Once again, all this stuff bolts right up. This one's length is going to be, bear with me, guys. I'm doing this all on video for y'all. Once again, 25.67. Too long. It's too long. You guys, I would not recommend the QX70 unless you're going to be fully slammed. And if you want to try it out to make sure, go ahead. But 2 inches might be just a little too freaking long. Lastly, I think I said also the QX60. I don't know about the QX50. Let me just quickly take a look on video for you guys. 3.5. I don't know about 3.5. I don't remember this. This says front right. Yeah, I don't trust this because the axle is completely designed different. Look at it. This axle is designed different. That's not how that works. So we're not gonna go with that because the 3.5 differential is completely different. You want to stick with the 3.7 or the 5, or in this case the 5 liter, or anything that's designed like how this is supposed to look like. Like it's supposed to look like this. So if it's not a front right and it look like that, then just stay away from it. But this could just be back wrong photos. But I'm confused. Maybe that because usually this is the drive axle. I'm assuming that the front right is a drive axle on the QX50 or whatever. But nonetheless, don't go with the QX60 and the QX70 axles. Just maybe just a little too long. So on video, my recommendation moving forward, if you are having issues with your all-wheel drive Q50 3.7 or 3.0T, and it's the front right axle and it keeps pulling out, look into the 2011 and up M56X front right axle, or the Q7 or Q7, not QX70, Q70 5.6 front right axle. They're the same, no matter. It's just that the name of the car changed. I would recommend doing so because it's about 3/4 of an inch longer. That should help you to prevent you from running into any issues. There's not much other cars I recommend. I remember looking to do Nissan GTRs. They're also interchangeable, but their axles are a lot shorter than ours. It's actually shorter than the Q50s too, the 3.7. So I wouldn't recommend that. So that's my recommendation. If you do the 3.7, it's only about a half an inch longer. So I guess I hate to say it on video, all inches count. So outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully, guys, it saves y'all if you are having these issues with your lower Q50. Some of you guys had these issues with your stock Q50, which is super weird. I don't know why. So you can hit me up at boostinmotion IG, Facebook. Also, you can send me an email for thanks@boostinmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to say it on video. I don't know about the driver's side, and I don't know about the rear axles. I don't know about the architecture. I never looked into them because I've had issues with them when I had the cars. So I'm not going to say those are interchangeable. All right? And also, don't sue me, period. The kid can't sue me for this. It's not my fault. I'm just helping you out. And I did what works on my car. All right? So outside of that, guys, I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Thank you.